Welcome to the True YouTube Moderator channel, where I identify problems with the YouTube systems and offer realistic solutions to those issues. As indicated by the title, today we're going to be talking about mukbang videos on YouTube. The simplest explanation of these videos is that they consist of people filming themselves eating large amounts of food. They can be done for numerous reasons such as ASMR, but for this video these different purposes aren't too important. Originally, this topic was simply going to be discussing mukbang channels that abused animals. But in that case, I might as well just make the video 10 seconds since all I do is state the obvious fact that hurting animals is bad. That's not something I want to do. I want to add something meaningful to the discussion. And I feel a good way to do that would be to present some ideas on general guidelines YouTube should have for what should and shouldn't be allowed in a mukbang video. Why do I think this is necessary? Well, it mostly stems from the events that occurred roughly a year ago revolving around a channel by the name of Ssoyoung, who was accused of torturing animals due to having a number of videos where she ate octopus while they were still alive, mutilated squid, and poured salt over mudfish which made them flail in anguish. Actions most people would probably consider rather cruel, and I agree with that. Unlike most YouTube problems, this one actually received a sizable amount of attention, being covered by channels like Penguin.zo, H3H3 Productions, and SomeOrdinaryGamer, whose videos combined exceeded 10 million views. On top of that, there are also a number of articles published by a variety of sites, mostly those that supported veganism. I have looked at all of them, and the majority are in agreement. This should not be allowed on the website. Even YouTube's own policies say this isn't allowed. Well, not only is the channel still up, but every single video that people specifically complained about are still up as well. To be fair though, some of them were changed to remove the worst bits, and some were given age restrictions. But apart from that, that's literally all that happened. Take note, however, that the age restrictions were based on community guidelines, not chosen by the uploader. While there's a good chance this means it might have been done by an automated system, it could also mean that a real person has reviewed these videos and decided that this didn't qualify for being taken down. So I did a little more digging and I confirm, yeah, they did look at the videos. According to an article from Business Insider, they got in contact with a YouTube spokesperson who told them, "We have strict policies regarding animal abuse and have determined the videos highlighted do not violate them." This statement right here is my main motivation for suggesting better guidelines, because if they can look at a video of someone eating an octopus alive and not see the problem, clearly they need their rules dumbed down a bit more for them to understand. The fact YouTube didn't do anything isn't what I find interesting about the story. What interests me is how this is one of many clear examples of people joining a bandwagon to talk about a problem, then after the initial outrage, the issue is completely forgotten by everyone, except a select few who are very late to the party. It's a seemingly endless cycle, and frankly, it's no wonder that we still have problems like this one a year or more after they occurred. But that's a topic for another day. Instead, let's get back to the main focus, which was making modifications to the current guidelines for rules specifically regarding mukbangs. And as I stated before, if you have any thoughts regarding the points I make, I encourage you to please share them in the comments. This is meant to be a discussion, not me telling you what is right or wrong. I'm just one person, I can easily make mistakes, so let me know what you think. Let's start with an obvious one. Mukbangs should not involve causing harm to oneself or others, which basically means don't eat anything that causes you harm, like glass, poison, etc. Exceptions do obviously apply, such as this Halloween-themed video, where no harm is actually being done. We could also argue as to whether this condition should include videos where people are eating in extremely unhealthy ways. I lean towards saying YouTube should do something, but honestly I don't have any good ideas on how they should go about it just yet. The last part about harm to others is basically there just to say one thing. don't film yourself eating other humans. This is more of a personal preference, but I think most people would probably agree with it. Which leads me into a potentially controversial point. Anything not exempt or endangered, you may eat. What I'm trying to say is that apart from those excluded due to the first rule and animals at risk of extinction, I feel you can make an argument for why you should be allowed to eat pretty much anything else, even things most would find detestable. Frogs? Yeah, sure. Insect larvae? Go for it. Cats? While I don't agree with it morally, I would begrudgingly say yes. Now, you're free to share where you draw the line in the comments, but it honestly doesn't matter since, no joke, all of these examples are things that have actually been eaten in mukbang videos on YouTube. Now, I'm fine with there being no restriction. My only condition is that should there be any restrictions, YouTube needs to make it very clear about what is and isn't allowed. On top of that, I want to make one last criteria. No showing unnecessary harm to any animals to be consumed, which is essentially a more simple version of YouTube's animal abuse policy, which can be specifically applied to mukbangs. Now, obviously I would say eating animals that are still alive wouldn't be acceptable, but let's show something a bit closer to the border. This is a video of someone eating raw shrimp, in which he has a container of live shrimp, kills one of them live on camera by bashing it on the head, but then doesn't show the kills again for the rest of the video. Now, I would be happy to leave this be, as the kill is quick and not shown excessively. On the other side, we have this video, where they are also eating raw shrimp, but unlike the first video, they showed themselves tearing the head off the shrimp while they're still alive, and proceed to show it numerous times. That is what I would consider unnecessary, and thus I personally wouldn't allow it to stay up without being changed. I feel like this list of criteria is simple enough that anyone could follow it, yet provides enough detail to prevent mistakes being made. However, the main focus was to make it fair, meaning that if someone's video got banned for one of the reasons, it would be easy to understand why, or easily disprove it as false in the case of a far too common false takedown. So after sharing my ideas for guidelines and the motivation for designing them, what exactly do I hope to see happen? Quite simply, I would like to see the problematic content I've displayed removed, and to that end, I will be reporting all the videos I have concerns with. Now, do I think Ssoyoung deserves to be banned though? I mean, she did apologize, and after reviewing her content, it seems she's improved. However, there are still a few of her more recent videos I find potentially questionable. For example, here she cooks some abalone while they appear to still be alive on the 1st of March, and there's another example of her pouring salt on freshwater creatures from 6 months ago. I've decided to leave my answer as, I don't think she needs to be banned, but if YouTube decided to do so, I would not complain. With that said, I think I'll end this video here. Thank you for watching, and I'll also give a special thanks to Nana Ogashawarma for suggesting this topic in the first place. I assume I don't need to tell you how you can support my channel, but whether you choose to or not, I hope that you have a nice day or night, and let's make YouTube the best it can be.